ish something June.
Good morning and welcome to the Moopsyverse. The dogs are like, ruff, 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 ruff. I don't know how they can hear it. It must be something else. So, yes, we're talking about school schedules here in the States versus not there in the States. And let's see.
Slash Europe,
Let's
basically.
see. School year, Indianapolis. Let's see what it is. It varies from place to place. So the teachers went back on August 1st. This is the teacher schedule I want to see.
Well, the teachers do it. It's like
Oh, they have staff professional development at different schools. For a lot of students, they went back on August the 4th.
okay, that's mean.
So that, well, hey, your kids are.
August is the best month for vacation.
It is, but bear in mind, in a lot of places here, school is also free food. You get 2 meals a day from the school. It's air conditioned during the excruciatingly hot days, and not everybody's got airco. But it also kicks them out in May. Let's see. Last day for students is
Yeah, well,
May
that is
21st.
a month later, yeah, because
Yeah.
we began like at the last week of June. I think that's where schools end.
They get a full 2 weeks at Christmas for a break. And let's see, we're going to. And they get a full week for spring break as well. So they're going to get 3 weeks of vacation. We used to get 2 weeks of vacation. So, they start a little bit earlier, they end definitely earlier. Sorry, they start way early, they end early, and they get a little bit longer vacation break between the two.
We have, I think a week around Christmas, so the entire Christmas thing. Maybe it's the last 2 weeks of the year,
Hmm.
maybe with the Christmas starting and then like
Right, that's what ours is.
to the end of the year, and we have 2 weeks starting February, March, depending on the region. They don't want to do them all at the same time, so they've been like different districts. We call them voivodeships, I think. Basically they're like states but smaller and less independent than in the states.
Hmm.
But general idea is that yeah, the northern ones I think are starting like earlier in February. The southern ones starting like mid-February, and I think like the central ones are like the last. I said there is a rotation there, but there definitely is a 2 week period. We call it a winter break,
Hmm.
where they just can go skiing or whatever.
So I'm just going to reference Illinois because I know it better. But in Illinois, the town I lived in, grade schools were one district, and a district runs how the schools operate, teachers, things like that. Under state law, but
Right.
still they're independent. My high school was in one district. However, the high school that my high school was associated with another high school district. So within walking distance of my house, we had District 59 for grade schools, 211 for the high school, but the high school was also associated with 214, and none of the three had the same schedule. And parents finally were like, this is ridiculous. I have one student going back on September 1st. I have one
Yeah.
student going back on August 15th. And my other student, for reasons, is going back a week later than either of those. And all of the breaks are on separate days. Can we
Yeah.
organize this? So statewide, it's pretty uniform now.
Reasonable. I mean, chaos isn't helping anybody.
Back in the day,
Having
our classes would say let's start on September 1st, which isn't accurate, but we would actually have school start 3 days earlier, and in those 3 days you went back, you got your class schedule, you get your books, you get your locker assignments for the hallways and for the gym and things like that. Get a chance to meet teachers and find your friends, and it was just a couple of prep days. If you missed it, the world didn't end, but it would make the first day back difficult because they expected on day one you just went back and you were in class, as opposed to
the day
spending.
one is just grand opening and like getting schedules, and
Right, that
that's
all
about
had
it. We don't.
that was all supposed to be done in advance for us. By the way, good morning, Italian. Congratulations on your 3 light streak. I mean, 3 stream streak. But there are indeed 3 lights. Let's see, what have I got? Oh,
Oh my goodness. Vast ships in Dyson Sphere
oh, that was
and
last night.
vast ships in general. So I got two
Last night.
endeavors around Voth ships. Ugh.
I bet it didn't take that. We will see. I have win GPL, Herc frigates, and defeat Voth on the ground. But only 10 on the ground, so pretty easy.
I wish I could fix the Dyson Sphere maps in general. I
They can't.
really can't stand the flickery of those shadows on the ships and on the ground. This is just...
They can. They just aren't. We'll see. If somebody.
Like, I'm sorry, but the artifacting of the shadows right now on the hull of my vessel is just so... If I had epilepsy, I would have to look away from the
Yeah.
screen because there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
much flickering on just on the hull and just on the whiteness of the structures beneath it. So I like the idea of this map, but the execution visually wise, I just have to disable the shadows here. So
Well,
I
I'm
think
going
what I'm
to
gonna do.
join you over there in Vothlandia because we're going to go do the Undine as soon as you're done with your Voth ships because Satellian needs Voth ships. Sorry, Satellian needs Undine ships, so I'm on my way. What ship am I on here? The Nico. Oh, we can do this. I need some progress.
There
So,
you go. I disable ships to off, to shadows to off
yeah,
to get rid of that flickering.
can't remember.
You could just
It was either
set those shaders off or do
one of
something.
the devs was on with us one day, and he's like, "Oh, I'm watching your screen. You might want to adjust this, this, and this." I'm like, "Oh, that makes it so much better."
Yeah, maybe you could fix that in your game so we don't have to do this, this, and this every time we're here.
That would
Mr.
be
Dev,
nice. He's no longer with them. This was a while back.
obviously.
Back in the olden days. Alright, I'm off to the Undine. Because there really isn't an
I'm
Undine
here with
episode.
a fully completed section of the entire zone and just one instance, as usually.
Yep.
And so I'm just gonna slit my throat right now. I
Oh,
just hate this entire... The fact that I have two endeavors that are for Voth, and one of them is
okay.
forcing me to be in a Voth
Which
Dyson sphere.
instance are you in?
There's just one instance.
Okay, hang
There are
on.
no instances of Voth Bronze Dyson sphere.
Satalia, let's go take care of Chris's Voth first, and then we'll go take care of your Undine.
There's nothing to take care of.
Don't you?
All the
Did you
zones
get
are
them?
completed right now.
Yeah, but
No,
that
they're
means
just all the zones are completed.
right, but the purple circle's going to come up in a sec. If all the zones are completed.
Here's hoping, because like I came here and everything's
Yeah.
done.
It
As always.
says that there's just the Voth front tower has got a few ships waiting to cook. So I see you when you're coming towards me. So Talia, if you want to join us, then we'll zip over and take care of the Undine for you. I know where they like to pop up, so I'm going to go over there and just wait.
In response to that Voyager game, I actually equipped my Intrepid class. It's the Mirror Intrepid, so it's a little bit more tactically oriented.
Yeah, that final tower is just about done. That should get the purple circle to pop up. How many do you need, by the way?
10 here, and in total 30 Voth ships in general.
Yeah, well, if we get them all done here, then they're done. And if we don't, then we can run off and do Aftermath.
Yep. I love what they did with the Intrepid remaster. It looks so good now. Looks like a proper Voyager ship. I'd like to get a decently made model of it one day, because, you know, still have sentiment for Voyager. I wish I could watch it, but I don't have Netflix. This is the only thing that has it. Sky Showtime doesn't have Voyager, particularly Voyager.
Oh,
I find it frustrating.
Satalia, when you get to the contested zone, and the easiest way to do that is beam down to the battlegrounds ground, and then just beam straight up. That'll bring you into the contested zone.
Yeah, the fastest way to get here.
So, beam to the ground, beam up.
Oh, okay. Seems that Sky Showtime has all of the newer Battlestar Galactica, the miniseries, the first season thing, and Blood and Chrome is here even.
Here we go. We got chips for you.
Oh, thank goodness.
Hmm.
Yeah, that dreadnought's gonna disappear in a second, so I'm just gonna go to the same one you are going to.
Hmm. So, have you seen any of Strange New Worlds for this season?
Yeah, I've only seen the first 3 episodes. I
Okay,
keep
then I won't say anything.
forgetting about getting the others. I hate that, but
Oh, I was just
forget.
reading something that Jonathan Frakes and Anson Mount were talking about with I think the fourth one, the murder mystery one, but I won't go there until you've seen it.
Oh no, I think I've seen the murder mystery. Is
Okay.
that the one on the prototype holodeck?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, then I've seen the fourth one. Okay.
Okay. So the character T.K. Bellows, the one that Anson Mount is playing,
Yeah.
is supposed to be an homage to Gene Roddenberry, to the extent that
Oh.
they went back, found some old audio tapes so he could hear how the guy spoke and get the intonations and pacing and rhythm right.
It did seem to be like I couldn't pick it up because I've never seen, I think, Gene Roddenberry anywhere.
I've
But
seen
yeah,
him once, never in live. I've seen him on one thing talking, and I don't recognize his voice.
yeah.
So now I have
I
to go
will.
back and rewatch it because I wasn't thrilled with the episode. But now that I understand what they were going for, that might change it. Well, Satalia, at this point we have. Did you get any more of your ships done for the battle zone?
Got 12, so
Okay.
yeah.
How many did you need in the battle zone?
That's 10, so I'm done
Okay,
with the
so then we
battles
can
and
finish Aftermath. Well, in that case, let's go off to the to the Undine. So, Satalia, go to the Undine and we'll find you. How's that?
there was a way off here directly to the contested zone.
You can fly there, but there really isn't an easy way. So I just beam out and beam back in, because you'll get the immediate prompt to go to the Undine Space Battle Zone. That one right there. See, there it is. So I'm in Sphere Space Battle Zone, the same one Satalia's in. So no problem, Satalia, we
You have
got
to
you.
fly to the edge of the right edge of the map, and you
It'll
go to
take you over
the
there. Yeah, I just found it's faster. And Satalia is in roughly the 8 o'clock position. But Satalia, if you go to the center, to the Klingon Point Alpha Undine Control, that spawns more ships than where you're at right now. The ones that look like artillery spawn a lot more ships.
You know what's funny? I don't get a lot of that artifacting of the shaders in this zone.
Because you've got a darker
It's the
background.
fast license.
It's
Yeah, but it's not about the background. It's not even displaying on my hull of my ship that intensely. Is almost not noticeable. It just shows that the dice with the Vath section is just the one that has issues.
I see everybody else has the same idea we do.
That's the closest, and then you can take it from anywhere else.
By the way, do not activate the weapon initialization because it will spawn more ships until you do that. Once you start doing that, it spawns fewer ships. And since we got a lot of people here, we might be able to get this.
Hey, Fluffer.
My fluffers are on the floor going, but Mom, we could be outside. It's still dark, dears. We can't go outside yet. But other people have their dogs out. Yes, because they have to go to work.
The dogs are more brave.
Oh, I don't mind being outside because it's not like pitch black middle of the night. And it's a relatively nice neighborhood. There's only, 50 houses here, so not a lot of traffic, not a lot of people. Let us know, Satalia, when you get your 30. And then we're going to go do. She's got her 30. All right, I'm going to kill these. How about we launch for the patrol aftermath so you can get your Voth ships?
Yep, sure.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to queue up patrols. It's grayed out for the moment, so I've got to get out of this instance.
Oh, you just have to get out of combat, really.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I view each little
Player
section.
is in combat. Warning, player is in combat.
Yes. Let's see if I can launch directly from
And
here.
warping out.
You can launch directly from here. Do you want normal or advanced?
I launched advanced.
Okay, we are
Probably going to spawn
launching.
more ships.
Yes, we will. We're going to launch advanced aftermath Nasorden system. Yay! I'm doing the mental countdown on what I have to do next week. I have 2 weeks till I get company here. Let us do this thing. I'm heading over to beta. I forgot how much I like this little ship.
You mean the racks?
Yeah. It's this particular build just was a lucky coincidence of everything worked out nicely.
Those are the best kind of builds, really.
Yep. This is primarily a spiral wave disruptor beam build.
Oh!
Yep.
Cardassian tech, huh?
Is that Cardassian? Goes
Yeah.
so far back I don't remember where I got it all from.
Spiral disruptor is the Cardassian beam weapon, right? They have a phaser proc, if I remember correctly, as well as disruptor.
That could be.
It was one of the reasons why they were quite OP considered back in the day.
It still is mean.
Yeah, they're still capable. Something like the pulse phasers, that their
I love pulse phasers too.
built-in proc debuff is quite useful because it decreases the damage resistance on the enemy.
So, I was listening to an analysis of the new Jurassic Park movie. And this is by a guy who, while he does a lot of criticisms and critiques of movies, usually does an analysis of why things work and why they don't work in the universe where the story takes place. So, this time he did an analysis of Michael Crichton's writing strengths and abilities. So this is like a 4-hour review of a 90-minute movie or something like that. It's definitely overdone. But he goes back into Crichton in the movie Andromeda Strain in particular, points out that the issue with the big flaw in it is that everything that the humans designed to defeat a virus that had the potential of damaging Earth if it came from outer space was based on the assumptions we make of everything else we've encountered, i.e., this is how viruses and bacteria and stuff work on this planet. Well, that virus didn't work that way. and it got defeated other ways, not by human intervention. And it's the same thing with weapons. We design weapons and defense systems based on what we know. So if
Yeah.
we know that the Cardassians are using X weapon, we create a defense against that and a weapon that can help defend or defeat their defenses. I would like to see Stowe come in with a new species that has a weapon that's not one of our weapons. And like the first 3 or 4 episodes is figuring out how the heck we're going to defeat it. So, in other words, you're going to do a play to lose for at least 2 episodes before we have some involvement. Kind of like with Delta Quadrant, where they were trying to figure out how they're going to deal with the um, adding in the. It wasn't the Delta Quadrant, it was the Krenma arc, where we had to deal with the potentials of traveling back in time and how that affects everything. But that was not as well done. But can you imagine 3 or 4 episodes where basically you can't win because we don't have good weapons, and you have to spend part of your time developing better weapons?
Kind of like the first Borg encounter with
Mm-hmm.
TNG.
Yeah.
Because the biggest advantage Borg had is that they've assimilated over time so many civilizations with spacefaring technology, with space weapons, that they practically knew how to adapt to every kind of defensive system that they already have encountered, and they could use it. Oh, you did not. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw that the entire 3 seasons of Quantum Leap
Yeah.
are on Sky Showtime
Ooh,
here.
there you go. There you go. Let's
I'm
see.
just wondering, how many seasons did it originally have?
Mm,
Because I
5?
think 3 seasons. Yeah, 3 seasons is not the full thing. Oh, they have the new one here too.
5 seasons for Quantum Leap, the original, and
Just
looks
one
like
season of the
no,
reboot.
no, it's on for 3 years, but it doesn't mean it had 3 seasons. It had 31 episodes over 3 years.
The new one?
Yeah, that's what it
Does it
says
got
here.
3 seasons?
Well, it ran for 3 years, 22 to 24.
Okay, I'm kind of annoyed that we didn't have full seasons here, but
Oh, excuse me. Officially, it was 2 seasons over 3 years.
oh, wow, it took them forever.
It was not at the best time of production. 22 would have been putting it at the very end
Yeah.
of COVID, so a lot of things were just taking forever.
Yeah. You're right. Hmm. Well, since we've got that done, let's swap out.
Let's see. Reviewers say Quantum Leap reboot gained mixed reactions. Fans enjoyed the continuation of the original storylines and new diverse characters. Many commented the lead chemistry and modernized premise. However, some criticized the lack of originality, uneven writing, and here's the big one, subpar acting.
Yeah,
Focus
I
on
watched the
contemporary
pilot.
issues is forced and detracting from the impact.
I watched the pilot of it, and I was like, "Oh my God, who did this?" Like some of the actors were like, "Really, why are you acting here? Why are you here? You're
Yeah.
not really good at your acting job." It's like, ugh.
Yeah, aside from Ernie Hudson, there's really not a lot of big names in it.
Jace, Mason Alexander Park, I know, and he's a good actor. They are a good actor. I've seen them in The Sandman as
Okay.
Desire, and that was a really good entry. And I think they're a good act. They're doing theater and musical stuff, so they know what they're doing when it comes to acting. But as a non-binary person, it's very cool to watch them, chameleon into different roles that are just really well tailored to their unusual appearance, I say.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Jinx Monsoon doing a cameo. I mean, doing a villain in Doctor Who's one of the new seasons. And they were Maestro, who was the definition of music in one of the toy makers' creations, beings. I'm not very vested in Doctor Who, to be honest, because it's never been a thing here in the first place, and only like biggest nerds were watching it by just obtaining it in other less than legal ways. But yeah, I'm aware of it to a degree, and I definitely deliberately went to watch it because I saw a teaser on TikTok of
Hmm.
that specific episode with Jinx Monsoon, and my God, was it delicious! I love that episode. I think it was great.
And that's actually one of the worst episodes ever. It's horribly written.
You mean the Jinx Monsoon one?
Yeah, it is actually considered potentially the worst of all time Doctor Who episodes, just because of the
Really?
terrible writing. Yeah, the acting isn't that much better, to be honest. Um, I
I
think
don't
one
know.
of the
I
big
like.
issues with
Mm,
that is that the guy who's playing Doctor Who,
Good to
Cutie,
got one. Yeah.
yeah, has two characteristics that he plays as Doctor Who. As an actor outside of Doctor Who, different story, but in Doctor Who, he's just either over the top or crying. And so the subtleties that you get with a lot of the other actors and actresses got lost. And I think that has a lot to do with how the showrunner wanted things done.
Yeah, I think
So,
that's the way he's been written and directed.
right,
So it's not
right.
really the actor's fault. I've seen
Oh,
him in
no,
other
no, I
things, and I think he's
exactly.
absolutely great.
He didn't get the role because he's a terrible actor. He got the role because he's a good actor. But you're limited by the quality of the scripts and then the quality of the direction. But also in this case because of the quality of the forerunner, who is it? Russell T Davies, who used to be amazing. The no, it's not. Oh God, which one is it? As soon as I put that up, it started going in. The episode is titled "The Devil's Chord," and he is the
Oh, that's right. The
maestro.
Devil's Court.
Yeah, I had
That's
to go
right.
look it up. I remember he
I
was the
actually
maestro.
enjoyed this episode.
So that
He was the master,
episode
and I love that.
originally um, was going to go in a different direction. They were going to try and pull back the master in a role, and they just couldn't make it work.
The Master, like
Yeah,
what?
the master is a main character in Doctor Who, has appeared since basically beginning. Let's see. So people are saying that it is absolutely fabulous, the best one ever, and other people are going the worst one ever.
Well, the thing is, you either love that kind of episode or you hate it. I absolutely adore it. I don't know anything about Doctor Who, like in outside the lore. I don't think I've seen anything, but I just absolutely adore that episode because I just love over the top villains like that. And there's like, I love that they use the fact that it's I want to say, is it trans or non-binary? I don't remember Jinx Monsoon.
No, non-binary. I don't think trans.
Yeah.
It's
The thing
interesting.
is
So
that
I popped into a Reddit that is
they're
definitely loving
drag.
it, but it's all 5 stars, and then the next one all 0 stars.
Yeah.
So it's love or hate.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. There is something about Jinx in it that I just think was absolutely amazing in that episode, and they kind of stole the show because, like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
when it comes to Doctor, he was kind of toned down, but he did seem kind of skittish in front of being like that. But I think it was just about let them have some fun with that one, and they definitely did.
Let's go over here. Looking at
Oh my
IMDb.
goodness, they're my age almost. I mean, they're a few months younger than I am, but they were born in 1987. Which is funny. I yesterday learned that actually Adele, I was assuming she's older than I am, and she's
Mm-hmm.
actually younger by a year from me. Like, what?
That makes us
How?
feel
What?
old.
Yeah, but that I was. I mean, it's not like she makes me feel old. I always assumed that she's older. I don't know why. It's not like she looks older, but I had the vibe from her that it's someone senior than I am, just by maybe a few years, but still. And then I actually learned that she was born almost literally a year after me. I'm like, what? 'Cause she's from May as well, so I'm like, what?
By the way, I stand corrected. Space Babies, the episode preceding Devil's Court, is the worst rated of the Doctor Who's. And it's
Yeah, I
bad.
was.
That was no, don't
No,
watch that one. It's just awful.
I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, don't
No, I
bother.
wasn't keen. But I did like Devil's Court. I did like the premise, the setting of it. I like that they kind of made this little bit of swap in time because Doctor traveled back through time as well all the time, so he just wants to see something back in time and suddenly realizes that the music is gone in the world. And that concept really, I just I enjoyed it very much because it was really just working on my imagination. Like, what would really happen if we didn't have, the most famous music in the world? How would that alone change the world, basically?
It would. Have you ever seen the movie? I want to say it's Yesterday, but that's not the right name of it.
Uh, what's the name of it again?
It's called Yesterday.
No.
Yesterday is a 2019 jukebox romantic comedy. Anyway, one guy basically wakes up and realizes he's the only person in the world who knows Beatles music. It never existed. It's like in this alternative universe.
It's funny because Devil's Court literally derails music, and it's the Beatles that they are meeting right before they actually did their biggest hits. And we have the entire Beatles group that is completely derailed because music is gone. Because Jing's character kind of steals it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that was such an interesting take because everyone thinks that Beatles really just kicked off a lot of genres in music and they moved
Well,
music
I
into
don't
new
know that
directions.
they kicked it off, but they took music that was in a more niche group. They took up
Yeah,
a lot of R&B and rock from various small groups and started pulling it together and making it a little bit more palatable to the bigger
yeah,
masses. Let's see. I'm not
yeah.
ignoring you, Zez. Oh, Zez says that that's a great movie. Consolidated it. Thank you. They consolidated it. Yeah. Zez also has Love or Hate, the story of fandom. So true that.
Couldn't have that said it better.
Yeah.
You know what I would love to see, and I can't find a TV series, specific TV series anywhere on streaming.
Mm-hmm.
The Golden Girls. I've seen enough clips on YouTube and TikTok alone to want to watch the entire thing, and
Oh, yeah.
it's nowhere.
No, you have to go see it. I'm sorry. Absolutely required. Betty
I
White
know, I
is
love
phenomenal in it. I mean, the other characters are
Betty
good, but Betty
White.
White.
She topples everything. Like
Oh
when
my God, she's so
she
good.
had that, she has this quality of like just the timing and that dead, brainless expression of her character. Like she was so oblivious to everything sometimes. She
Uh,
said something that was really just her personal thing, and it just topples everything else. I love her.
Satalia says Betty White is amazing in anything that she is. Zez accurately points
Yeah.
out Elvis Presley did a similar thing with consolidating music and bringing it to a wider audience, but he also brought in sex appeal at a time when that wasn't considered appropriate, and it really, really changed the way we looked at musicians. Betty,
Wow.
yeah,
Muse
because
to the rescue. I found Golden Girls fully watchable.
there you go. Satalia says Betty White was in an episode of Community. She did a lot of stuff. I mean, she was pretty much working up until she died.
Yeah, yeah, she was always like, oh my God, yeah, I wanna see this. This is coming to my VOD bookmark, then and there.
If you have any questions about Minnesota as you go through it, feel free to ask. Because she's from Minnesota in the series, and Minnesota is a thing. It is so a thing. It's
Alright.
primarily Scandinavians who moved there from Europe first. Obviously, a lot of Native Americans there as well. Uh,
1985. Huh.
but there's a whole culture with Minnesota that is a hoot. Minnesota, yeah, that too. Would anybody like to do Swarm? Because I need to get some frigates.
Oh yeah.
I need 60 of them. I will queue us up. Satalia, you in for a little Swarm? Or as we'd like to say, Swarm. I can't say it right. Yeah. Somebody said the other day it just was ridiculous and so good. Swarm. Satalia is going to pass, so I'm going to kick you, Satalia, so you don't get dragged
Kick 'em
into it with
hard.
us.
Can you hang on for just one sec?
Yes, I can. Hang on, I'll just clear the queue. Do you know why Iowa is so windy? I do not. I've been in Iowa for as long as it took me to drive through Iowa, which was not very
There's
long.
definitely a perfectly reasonable explanation for that.
Well, Iowa's next
Probably
to
with the
Illinois, so
landscape or
we used to.
something.
It was close enough to have absolutely no reason. Let's see, because Missouri sucks and Minnesota blows. Oh God, yeah.
Oh, that's brilliant. I love it.
So I've been starting to plan out my cross country trip, which I was going to hope to do this year, but it's definitely waiting for next year. And coming back this last trip, I made the mistake of driving through Nebraska, which isn't really an option for what I was doing. But Nebraska is not only flat for the most part, but it's flat and just full of corn. Once you leave Denver, it's just flat. So this time I'll go the exciting way through Kansas City. But it's not that different. Once you get to Oklahoma City, everything just goes to nothing till you reach Albuquerque, and then you get mountains again. And going through to Colorado's the same way. Maybe I'll go north. We have fleet mates up in South Dakota and North Dakota. I can go visit people that way. It does still take me through Iowa, though. Of course, I'm not going through Chicago this time, so yeah, that'll make a difference. But I was
There you
thinking of
go.
taking
Awesome.
3 weeks to travel basically out to Vegas and up visit my nephew and niece in California, maybe up to visit Id if he's still there, because this is in a year.
Okay, you can cue it up.
Okay,
Sorry, I
I'll
had to
get
do
back over there.
uh,
No worries.
changes. Yeah, I've seen enough of the clips from Golden Girls to know, like, oh, I want to watch that, but
It is funny.
it was nowhere. It was hilarious. I can't understand. It's just still there's very few TV series that existed like from the 80s or early 90s that are still relevant these days. That you can still watch those sitcoms and their jokes will still land. Like they are anonymously still working. Their humor is timeless, and there's very few TV series that still have that. Alf, probably. Uh,
Satalia says, when I retire, I want to buy a camper and travel Route 66. I want to bicycle Route 66 because
Alf
it's in
really just
terrible condition.
uh,
Because I get to go
Alf
on Route
still
66 a lot.
lands only based on the character that the actor who played Alf. Anyone else is less than funny. I
Hmm.
think only the character of Kate, who really resented Alf and her hatred towards him was very palatable, was probably the most hilarious person in the show. Um, but yeah, it's an acquired taste. Friends is starting to age, but I always considered Friends to have very long lifespan of like
I've
new
never seen.
generations of people who are like in the early 20s, when as they moved along towards their 30s would just, understand their struggles. Although not
I've,
entirely. Today, I think we're a bit more less anonymous than there are no group dynamics like this anymore. I mean, if
I've
there ever
actually
were.
never seen Elf. I've never seen. I think I've seen part of one episode of Cheers.
I've
I
never seen
have
Cheers. I don't know what
seen
it is.
I've seen one episode of Friends because it was playing when I was at the hospital waiting for my son to have some surgery.
I haven't seen a lot of it then.
No, no, I have not.
I mean, Friends had. I mean, it was kind of related. I remember when I was watching it around the same age as they were kind of being in on the show. You know, they were in their early 20s and they were growing into the adult life, and it is kind of hilarious how their friend dynamic was kind of, you know, codependent and they played off each other, and it was really well cast because you could understand that they are actually liking each other. You could actually see that these people have a great dynamic even off screen, that they're probably giggling and pissing themselves laughing because, you know, they really must have had fun, because it was one of the very few shows that were actually shot in front of live audience, and they kind of had to like keep up the posture when everyone was dying laughing on the stage, and including the crew behind the cameras. You could totally feel that they're kind of breaking character sometimes, and I love those kind of moments. And I think the Nanny still slaps. I think Nanny still lands. The Fran Drescher TV series. It had 5 seasons, and I think it still hits. Like even like the Jewish self self-centered humor that was, you know, she was. I mean, Fran Drescher is Jewish, and she incorporated a lot of that inside Jewish humor. Wait.
What?
Oh, you're just moving about. I
I'm
thought
just
you were
moving. Don't
warping
worry.
it. We didn't get a pop
We did not get a pop yet. No, I'm waiting for that to happen. But I
because
figured
I
I
saw
had,
you loading.
yeah, I had 10 bath on the ground. I figured I'd just run down here and get the 10 bath real quick. And if
Oh
I
yeah,
get
no
pulled
worries.
up, no biggies.
Just had a mini heart attack that I missed a pop or
You
something.
didn't.
But then again, you would say a wee woo, so I
I would say we will,
would not
yes.
have missed that.
Mm-mm.
Murder She Wrote.
The thing is, Murder She Wrote is more timeless. There's a few episodes that are definitely dated and definitely cringe. But for the most part, it doesn't get into anything other than like
Oh yeah,
Agatha Christie levels of murder mystery.
that's what Angela Lansbury,
Yes,
right?
it is.
Oh, she's an icon. There are 2 seasons of that actually on Sky Showtime. I've
I'm
never
not
actually
surprised.
considered it. You know, might be
We
worth
will.
it. We have a wee woo now,
We
yeah.
has a wee woo. See if I can get the rest of these Voth real quick here.
Ooh, that's an interesting
And Tally wants
show.
us to know that she is the boss. Who's the boss? There, I got my 10 Voth, so we're good. Yay. I'll be nice and leave the rest of these for somebody else.
What
There's
year
so
is
many
this
TV
from?
shows I never saw. Just
Clearly. I still am so pissed about Target Universe. They
Who's the
cancelled it at the time.
Voth? It's the stove version of Who's the Boss.
Oh my god.
So I have my nearly 4 pages of Moopsy titles now. Actually, that's
Uh-huh.
I'll add that to the list. Married with Children. Again, never saw it.
Oh, that
Moopsy
was a
with
big hit here.
It was a big hit
We
here
kinda,
too. I was just having a life, so
uh, yeah, I remember it was a big hit. And actually, didn't it start the career of Christina Applegate?
could be because I don't know who that is.
Oh my god. I like her. I mean, I don't think she's acting much these days
If it's
because
who
she's
I
got,
think it is, she's got like MS or something.
yeah, she's got MS in his
Yeah.
window. I remember her getting her Star of Fame in LA, and
Mm-hmm.
the reception when she was on the walking stick. Oh, crushing. Because I remember she was like 18, 17 when she was playing the daughter of the main character of the show, and she was playing a dumb blonde basically. That constantly was bitter against her brother, and it was kind of probably the most hilarious part of it. And they constantly detested themselves, and she came off as just blatantly stupid. But you know, you gotta get an acting talent to actually play someone that daft, like to be
Oh
on
yeah.
that level of stupidity, and you know, have that completely vacant facial expression where she was, you know, she was absolutely beautiful and you know absolutely vain about it and absolutely stupid about it and everything else. So it was kind of a combination of things that was absolutely just cracking me up. Yeah, they kind of tried to make our own version of that series here in Poland, but it wasn't like licensed because they didn't do it one to one. It was kind of like our own take on kind of like a dysfunctional family like that.
Mm-hmm.
But they went with a working mother and an unemployed father who was just a bum sitting in front of the TV, and drinking a lot of beer, cheap beer, mind you. They had a family of neighbors who, the guy the men of the houses kind of detested each other, and they constantly were bickering about everything, including the toilet. Um,
Zez points out generally some of the stupidest characters are played by some of the smartest actors. Yeah,
yeah,
because
it
it takes
takes a
skill.
really good skill to actually remain in that role while you're being absolutely ridiculous, you know. And it's not even being slapstick ridiculous. Like as I said, Christina Applegate, I bowed to her when she was like 17, 18, when she was playing that role, and she was already just hitting that so impeccably. She was so good at playing someone so absolutely stupid, and it was like, how do you keep a poker face for like an entire scene like this? Because you know they can make a cut, but it was shot with a live audience. So like, how do you even? No, I was always absolutely impressed by any actor who could play in front of a live audience and they could keep a poker face when they were being absolutely ridiculously stupid or something like that.
Let's see.
That takes talent.
Zez points out Mr. Bean as an example of somebody very smart playing somebody very stupid. And
Oh
that man
yes,
is brilliant. Not
Rowan
just as an actor,
Atkinson.
but he is so intelligent. When you hear him speak on topics other than like acting and stage, and it's like, oh my God,
Even
this
if
guy is
it's acting on
smart.
stage.
But oh, I mean, I would expect he could do that. But when he goes off onto some other thing,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think his degrees in engineering.
I think so. I don't
Yeah,
remember specifically, but I did was like, what? So he didn't originally degree as an actor?
yeah, no,
That was a thing. Oh yeah, we don't have 5 players in this one. Someone bailed.
oh, that's okay. We're fine.
I just,
We can do it.
I just noticed.
Big
No,
deal.
it doesn't matter. It's easy enough.
Yeah. Citalia, regarding Route 66, it's not expensive because it's famous. It's expensive because so many people are doing the camper life right now, and there just isn't a lot of good places to stay on Route 66, and the ones that you can are already booked in advance. I mean, some people actually have permanent leases on some of the spots. So a lot of people have just taken to camping out by staying at like Walmart parking lots, which at night pretty much don't care who parks there overnight. But I don't want to do that with the dogs. I would rather get a decent vehicle that they can walk around in, like a camper van, but not bother with all the water and cooking and all that stuff. Something just with big, comfy beds for the puppers.
There are camper, uh, not the camper van, but they're like campers you can attach to your car and drag around with
Right,
you.
but again, I don't want to do that because the whole point of having a place to have the doggers be comfortable is to have a place for the doggers to be comfortable. So I'm looking at a renovated, like an Amazon delivery truck. You know, have it set up so that there is a place for the dogs to have big beds, walk around, water and food, so we can travel
I've seen a
comfortably.
girl living in London, but on the river.
Uh huh.
So she has a little ferry, a very narrow ferry, but
Uh,
she refurbished it to having a fully livable space.
oh, that's a
It's
thing
constantly
there.
parked,
Yeah, that
but
is
she can move about when she needs to.
that
She has
is and
sol
has
she
been a
full
thing there for centuries.
full solar.
Hmm.
Yeah, but now today you can be almost completely self-sufficient
Yep,
if you don't mind having a cassette toilet.
you learn to live with it. Well, Satalia, I wasn't planning on retiring quite as early as I did, but then my bosses were being jerks one day, and I'm retired. Which is probably a good thing, otherwise I'd still be working, and my son would be yelling at me about working when I don't need to work, blah, 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 blah.
I kind of throw yourself into a scenario where you're constantly busy anyway, so.
Yeah, to the extent of, I know today is kind of like a day off because people want to do stuff, and my brain's like, you really need to be working on the book today, Mom. You didn't do it yesterday, didn't do it the day before. You keep coming up with excuses to not do it. And they're right. And then my trainer's like, well, if you're going to work on writing your book, then you need to set the timer and every hour get up and walk around because it's killing your back. How did I have a life before this? I wrote books before this. I worked 40 hours. I raised a child. I took care of a house or part of a house and did cooking and groceries and stuff. How did it all change to where that is impossible these days?
There goes the dreadnought being killed off
Oh,
single-handedly.
I didn't even see it appeared. Good for you. Yay.
It wasn't the gamma, which
Oh,
was empty with no other Hark, so just went there and
well,
took
that'll
care
teach
of it.
him. Says my best excuse is tomorrow. Unfortunately, tomorrow is never today. Yes, yes, it is.
Yep, that's me.
I kind of like
That's
having
me.
deadlines a little bit like, hey, cousin is going to be here 2 weeks from Monday, or 2 weeks from Sunday. So anything you think he's going to be at in the house really should get cleaned up. Ugh.
Yeah, I'm supposed to clean up, but there's always tomorrow. And you know, with ADHD, or like the deadline means nothing to me. There's always time until there's none, and
Yeah.
the only thing that motivates me is the urgency. If it needs to be done like within 5 minutes, and the urgency motivates me to do something. If there's no urgency, I won't move a muscle.
I'm so like
I
that.
hate that, but it's just like, oh,
Well, I can blame yesterday on the fact that I was exhausted from that long, crazy drive home and not sleeping enough. Yeah, I started my list of things I need to do today. And if I can get one thing off the list each day, that's good. Rowan Atkinson has an IQ of 178, but we all know IQ doesn't mean anything, but we also know that regardless of the number, Rowan Atkinson is a smart man. His mother had him tested.
meanwhile, I'm kind of envious of Mr. Stephen Colbert from his latest episode
Hello, Musin.
of.
Hello. So
I
yeah,
don't
just like
watch
Sheldon.
those late night shows.
What was that, Musin?
Yeah. Just like Sheldon in The Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
He often mentions that.
Oh, yes, yes.
No, he's not crazy. His mom had him tested.
Why does that sound like something from a line from Adam's Families as well? Rowan Atkinson played the Doctor? Seriously? What did he play the Doctor in?
By the way, I hear in one of the latest episodes of Strange New Worlds there was a TARDIS.
Yeah, apparently there is a Curse of Fatal Death. Huh. I don't know that one. It was a one-time thing. Oh, okay. Thank you. Yeah, I heard there was a touch of a Doctor Who Star Trek crossover because Russell T Davies has been wanting to do a Star Trek Doctor Who crossover forever. So I don't know if that was with his consent or if he was involved in that. I'd like to find out.
The Curse of Fatal Death from 1999.
It says it was a comic relief special.
Yep.
Cool.
But it was called The Curse of Fatal Death from 1999.
Yeah.
And it falls in that period of Doctor Who wasn't like doing too well. It's before they rebooted the whole franchise.
Yeah, about the time they got to... Who was the last Doctor? Sylvester McCoy, or was there one after that? There was one after that. Can't remember.
Don't ask me for doctor names. I know maybe 2 or 3.
Well, I know them through Sylvester... Who was the last Doctor? It wasn't Sylvester McCoy. It was...
Paulie was the last Doctor.
No, he was not the last Doctor.
Yes, he was.
No, he wasn't. Because that's the second run.
Yes,
so
he
he's
was.
the second last Doctor.
Yeah, okay.
But not the first last
He was
Doctor.
the last Doctor.
Honestly, as far as I'm concerned, much as I love Tom Baker, and I love Tom Baker, Christopher Eccleston, to me, absolutely nailed it. Absolutely nailed it as the Doctor, and there's never been one. I love some of the other ones, but... And he did a one-season commitment to it.
I like Eccleston. I also just, like Matt Smith and...
Matt Smith was good, and... what's his name?
The one they keep
David
bringing
Tennant.
back.
David Tennant.
Yeah, Tennant. Those are also some of the most enjoyable episodes of Doctor Who in its new run, right? Are with those men as Doctor.
I stand corrected. Sylvester McCoy was the 6th Doctor. So I was thinking of Paul McGann, but he was only in the movie, which was an interesting movie.
Also, like Rowan Atkinson did a lot.
Yeah.
Some of it really good. Some of it didn't resonate with me though. Like I loved Blackadder.
Mm-hmm.
The
I love
first
Blackadder, yeah.
3 seasons, but season 4 of Blackadder falls completely flat for me.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I don't like season 4 of Blackadder, the 4th series.
I don't remember which one that was.
That's that they're in the trenches, in the uniforms.
Oh, the World War One. That got really grim.
Yeah.
But actually had some brilliant stuff.
I didn't like that one as much. I like the first 3 shows, especially second and third series. Those were really good.
Oh, this is interesting. Richard E. Grant played a doctor in 2024, just as a face in one of the background scenes. Interesting. I love Richard E. Grant.
I watched so many Rowans and stuff. I'm happy he was smart enough to refuse Disney's remake of The Lion King and not voice Zazu again.
Yeah, Disney should stop doing remakes.
Yeah, Disney should really stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Because that's what they're doing. Trying to reinvent
No,
the
they're
wheel.
not.
But...
They're not reinventing anything. They're just putting new tread on the old wheel.
My point being is they're trying to remake something they already successfully made, right?
Yeah.
Like reinventing the wheel is trying to remake something that is a complete success. There's no doing it better. Oh, there is, and that's kind of a spirally cone thing, but cars already do that with gear. You know. I'm surprised that they reinvented the bicycle in the last couple of years, and they made what's called a fat bike.
to find.
Fat bikes are bicycles that look like little scooters, and they go fast. They go way faster than a bicycle has any right to go.
Why do they go fast? Is gearing different somehow?
Yeah, they got like this gear system in it that allows for a lot of power transfer to the axle, which means you can get a lot of forward momentum. And there's people who've adjusted them so that they can literally go like 80 kilometers an hour on one of them fat bikes, which is ridiculous because that's the speed that that cars can go on the highway near
I'm wondering
cities
if they're
on the
different where
ring.
you are because the gearing I'm seeing here is the same, you know. It's a body difference, but the gearing is still Shimano for this particular brand. Wonder if they have a different name here. Yeah.
Well,
Here, a fat bike
uh,
is just a bike with fat tires. So you're thinking of, I think there's probably a different
y-
name here.
well, here it's a fat bike.
Hmm.
Almost looks like a little scooter,
Yeah,
and
it's got to have a different name here.
it has an electric motor in it,
Oh, okay.
but
That's a whole different thing. Yeah, they have.
not the electric motor is what's running. It's the gears on it are actually like, they have the ones with the closed gearbox here, and inside that closed gearbox is like just an insane gear ratio that makes them go real fast under their own power.
But that's cheating. You know, you have to put your effort into it. I seriously love biking, but I haven't biked for 3 years since I started having the dogs with me. I used to bike every place. But, you know, where taking 3 hours to get to wherever doing my thing and coming back was fine when it was just me with the dogs. I feel really guilty if I just go off to bike for 3 hours. And I can't take them with. I used to bike to the donut shop because it was 20 miles each way, and I could justify eating a donut if I'd biked for over an hour to get it.
Well, I don't see the specific model on pictures here, but I do see similar things, but you
Okay.
can see the gears.
Yeah. All of these that I've seen
The
have got exposed gearing, which makes sense if it's a bike because that's the number one thing that goes bad is you have to fix the gearing.
Yeah.
And
Well,
it's easier to just flip the bike over and fix your gears.
the ones I've seen have a closed
Hmm,
gearbox,
that is interesting.
and they they just go really fast, and it's probably just okay. But they go faster than a bicycle has any right to go,
Hmm.
and at that speed, people should actually be wearing protective gear like helmets and
Well,
that sort of thing, and they don't because it's a bicycle, and you're not obligated to wear any kind of safety gear on a bicycle in my
oh,
country.
okay. Well,
So no helmets, no padding, nothing.
there is something I learned a long time ago that if you are tanning hides, part of the process of tanning a hide is to use basically the brain of the animal mashed up as part of the treatment. And somebody was saying, well, how much do you need in proportion to the skin? And it is the amount of brain you've got is enough to preserve your hide. Well, that's true in this case too. The amount of brain you've got is enough to preserve your hide. Good morning,
That's
Mr. Dave. So, yeah, I wear a helmet and I replaced my helmet. In fact, I need a new helmet because they
oh, I
deteriorate with time.
so I've never worn a helmet on a bicycle. First off, of course, roads here are made with, bicycles in mind.
Yeah.
So a
So they're
lot
made
of
of rubber so you don't
places,
impact your head.
Yeah, the
well, a
two
lot of,
big accidents I've had, Musin, are when I fell off the bike twice.
mm,
Couldn't kick out of my pedals
oh,
fast enough. Fell down, broke
I
my
went,
wrist on one, and the other one, I was very lucky. I cracked the helmet, but I didn't get hurt.
I had a mountain bike, and I
Hmm.
was going like the fastest I could when I hit a speed bump. I literally got launched over the speed bump, landed sideways with my wheels,
Hmm.
flipped over, hit my head on the street.
Yeah.
People came out of their houses because they heard a thump, really like heavy thump. I got up and walked it off.
Yeah, but that isn't necessarily the end result in all of those. Good morning, mighty
No,
Archimedes.
no, I know.
Yeah,
I,
no,
I
wear a
once
helmet.
got I
Helmets are
got stuck with
expensive.
my wheels in the rails of a streetcar
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yep.
That was something. That went so wrong. The pedal from the bike that was made out of aluminum and had like ridges was embedded in my knee.
I wear my helmet.
Yes,
I
it
mean,
is a smart thing.
yeah, it is a very smart thing. But I used to do these big cross-country rides where it wasn't even an option. You wore your helmet. If you were smart, you wore gloves, but they didn't push for anything else because it might be 100 degrees out there and you're in the sun. And leathers are great on a motorcycle because you have some degree of getting cooled off by speed, but on a bike, nope, you're just sitting there slowly roasting. Says, every time I see someone drive fast on the freeway, I will say, you shouldn't drive faster than your angel can fly. That's actually really good. And after almost having 2 accidents coming home Wednesday night, I will bear that in mind, says.
Yeah. So
But I'm not wearing a helmet in the car.
my accidents basically all happened because I was being a dumbass, right? Going faster than I should, crossing a road in a spot where I shouldn't be. There was only one accident I had that wasn't my stupidity,
Mm-hmm.
and that was when it was raining. I hit the brakes, I slipped, I slid, and I just ran into the person in front of me because they weren't like making any like speed, and they were on the phone. So I couldn't pass them. They
Mm-hmm.
were on the cell phone, and I just crashed right into the back of them because I couldn't stop. The roads were too slippery because wet. That's the only time it wasn't my like stupidity. It was somebody else using their cell phone in traffic, which, at that time was a new thing. Now everybody just has to be hands-free or you're gonna get a fine.
Yep. Getting more and more that way here. Yeah, mighty Archimedes, I used to ride to school almost every day, even when it was snowing. Well, not active snowing, but when there was snow on the ground. Because people walked to and from school, even though it was a fair distance, probably 2 miles to my junior high school and a mile to the high school. But there weren't buses to get to those if you were within walking distance. So there was a path that was fairly well trotted out. No, my mom would not let me ride my bike to school when it was actively snowing because I had a musical instrument that I took with me, and she's like, I didn't spend that much money to have that get ruined by being out in the snow.
We
But
used
it
to
was
get
relatively rare.
we used to get snow in winter,
We still,
but that that kind of stopped at the end of the 90s, start of the 2000s.
hmm,
So when the lockdown happened and the world cooled down and we actually got snow again that one year, my country was not prepared to deal with it. And I'm like, how? We've had much, much worse weather when I was a kid, and I just had to go to school. And now I hear schools are closed,
well,
roads are closed,
hmm the
nothing
infrastructure
being done
goes for
against the
the
island.
average, not for the exceptions. So my brother lives in the
Yeah, but
UP, where 200 inches of snow a year is standard, and they are prepped for it. Versus 200 miles south in Lansing, Michigan, even though they get a lot of snow, they just are like, it'll melt in a couple of days, so they just shut down.
like my country has a history of cold winters all
Hmm.
the way up to the 80s where it started to warm up and the 90s. But in the 2000s, it stopped snowing, right?
Hmm.
In winter. And there was no more need to to basically deal with all the ice on the road or on the train rails or anything. And I just don't get it how my country, like, when it did happen, had no, like, protocol in place.
Because it hadn't happened in a
They
while, and
used to.
that's not what they're prepped for anymore. You don't keep equipment, and you don't prep for the exception. You prep for the rule.
Yes, and the rule was it got so cold, eyeballs would freeze from your head in the 60s. So, like, I still feel it's a bad idea not to have things on hand, you know, and not to have kept the old things that haven't been used for 20 years
But
in some form of, like,
but
maintenance.
keeping and maintaining is expensive. I mean, just the keeping,
Uh,
it is.
yeah,
I've worked
yeah,
with
the
enough
keeping would be
municipalities that
extensive.
keeping and you have to maintain it too. It takes
Yeah,
money,
the
takes
maintenance
time,
is less money than the keeping because you're gonna have to pay rent all year long
and
for
you
the
have to keep somebody
space.
who's able to do it. Let's see. Mighty Archimedes says, one day I did get a lift, but it was actively snowing and it was 6 inches, got to school and it was closed for safety. I had to trudge 2 miles home wearing your school
Yeah,
uniform, which consists of a blazer, t-shirt, thin trousers, and these loafer shoes. I actually put my clothes into my bag and I had
good.
specific clothes I wore for biking because it was really muddy. We didn't have a sidewalk or anything, so there was this trail, which they've now paved. It's been 40, 50 years since I used to bike it, but it's now paved. And I'm like, these guys are such wusses these days. Paved trails to school. Then the
No,
closest school.
I remember just running around in open field chasing dragonflies and stuff. And the same places that I used to do that are now just all housing and city. There's no more green, no more insects. Like, I was surprised the other day when I actually heard, you know, crickets at night. I was like, wait, crickets? I haven't heard those in years. But insects are slowly starting to return now that we've stopped using pesticides and stuff. Because the bee was going extinct, the honeybee,
Hello,
right?
Fluffer.
My country scrambled to make basically insect sanctuaries on top of roof of
Yep.
buildings.
Yeah.
There's beehives and
Yeah.
stuff on roofs.
Yeah. No, we put up beehives. Beehives are good. I'm going to get out of here, folks. At 7:15, I'm going to have a day of actively not trying to do a gosh darn thing. And this is coming into too close to being reality. Thank you very much. Hang on a second, Satelli. See, you just sent something in there. Oh, that was that one. I think I answered that. Route 66 may be famous, but that's not why there's so many RV parks and why they're so expensive. I do not know if we're going to have a show tonight because I'm not sure I'm going to do a show tonight. We will see. Did I do one? I don't think I did one last week because I was getting ready for Texas. We'll see. If I'm here tonight, I'm here tonight. If I'm not here tonight, I'm not here tonight. Everyone have a wonderful morning. Meeson, do you want to do our sound cue?
Who are you?
We are the knights who say...
Moopsy.
And I will make it a threesome.
Do you even hear yourself?
Lizard. Computer deactivate iguana.
How dare you!
Everybody, stay moopsome.
Moopsy.